Hey guys, it's Greg with JHDrums.com. Welcome back to another drum mixing tutorial. Inside today's video, we are going to continue processing our kick drum, and we're going to get into the ever elusive kick drum compression. The reason I say that is there's so many varying opinions on how to go about compressing the kick, or whether we should even do it at all. So I want to take a look at the parameters and examine what they're responsible for, how they shape our sound, and how to use compression on the kick drum to better enhance it in the mix versus detracting from our original sound. So let's go ahead, go into our kick drum track. Within the insert channel, we'll go to Dynamics, Compressor, and Mono. Again, I'm just going to bring up the stock Logic compressor. Any compressor will work, the stock compressor in your DAW or a favorite plugin that you may have. In this case, I'm going to grab the SSL emulated setting that I have here. And I want to show you a little trick to better understand the attack parameter. Let's bring our ratio all the way up. Let's set it to a hard knee, basically no knee at all. What the knee is responsible for is, if we increase the knee, it kind of curves this ratio. So there's more wiggle room within, basically when our transient exceeds the threshold, the knee kind of exponentially separates the reduction. And I know that's kind of a jumble of words, but it basically makes the compression softer versus a hard knee. And I prefer a hard knee on the kick drum just to better grab the click of the drum and highlight the body or sustain. So after we've increased our ratio all the way up, we've brought our knee down all the way to a hard knee. What we'll do is we'll bring our threshold all the way down and our attack all the way down as well, and release, just straight up the center around 200 milliseconds is fine. Now what I'll do is I'll solo the kick track and take a listen to what this does. Now if that's not the best kick drum you've ever heard, then I am out of a job. No, not really. Take a listen. When I bring up the attack, we start to hear just the click. Again, increasing it up to the 100 millisecond range, we get a better understanding of what this attack parameter is responsible for. So basically what we're doing when we adjust this is we're determining how much of that beat or attack that we have prominent within our kick drum compression output. And we can blend it to taste by using our ears. So let's adjust our attack to where we have a natural sounding but not overwhelming click or attack to our kick drum sound. Okay. Now that may be difficult to hear, but I find around 6 milliseconds is going to be fine for this kick drum. Now this is a Audix D6 that was captured with. It's got a lot of presence in the 5K range, so it's a very sharp transient. If you used a different type of beater, like a felt beater, or just if you're using like a jazz style kick drum where there's a lot less slap and more ring, then obviously your attack is going to require a longer setting. But 6 milliseconds in this case is looking good to me. Let's go ahead and bring our ratio back to about 3:1, keeping it pretty conservative. We'll leave our release time at around 200 milliseconds, and let's adjust our threshold now to get on average around 3 to 4 dB of gain reduction. I don't want it to be too heavy, but I do want to tame that transient. So let's go ahead and do that. Maybe a little much. And that's looking good to me. And I like subtle compression on a kick because it retains the dynamics, but it also lets us bring out the body of the drum, but it doesn't totally kill the sound. So let's examine the release. I'll go ahead and play it here. And notice right now we're in a pretty good place at 180 milliseconds. But let's bring this down. And notice that a lot of the body is lost with that fast of a release. And bring it back up, you start to feel the beef some more. And with a longer release, of course, it's not releasing in time for the next transient, so that is not where we want to be. So, in that case, it's best to find the longest release that is acceptable for the kick performance that you've captured in order for us to retain that body, but to release the compression before the next kick drum hit is sounded. So let's find that optimal position. Maybe a little bit. So for me, 150 milliseconds on this take is sounding good. It's got the body, it's not detracting from our original take, but it's also releasing in time to consistently tame that initial slap. Let's, just like we did with the snare, let's go ahead and bypass our compression, listen to our kick drum in its original form, and then engage it and match the overall volume with our gain makeup. So before, and after. Notice that click or the attack has been tucked away just slightly. And that actually sounds good to me. Just 2 dB of gain makeup is fine. Some people will claim that, with a gain reduction of 6 dB, you need a gain makeup of 6 dB. And that's not always the case. If you go about it in this fashion, where you bypass and then engage and match the volumes, you're not overcompensating your gain, and you're staying at the correct gain stage level that you had previously set for your drum tracks. So I recommend doing that. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you're going to compress kick drum, pay attention to your attack parameter to determine how prominent your initial slap of your kick is going to be in your mix. Use your release to best capture the body of the kick, but make sure that it's not missing any of the transients. Having every hit captured within the compressor, and that you're using a ratio that's more subtle, so it's not going to sound unnatural or overly compressed. And let's take a listen. Again, we'll just bypass the compressor, we'll listen for 2 bars, and then I'll engage it. Engaged. Bypass. Engage. Notice that it brings it more forward, the attack's more under control, but again, we have a better representation of the sustain or body of our kick drum. And let's do it in perspective of the entire mix. We'll do the same thing, 2 bars without, 2 bars with. Engaged. Oh yeah. And let's listen to a more intricate part here in the beginning where there's a lot of kick work going on and we can tell the difference as well. So this is without. And engaged. Without. See how it kind of disappears a bit? And again, with it, it just brings it more forward, but in a very subtle fashion, and conservatively makes our kick drum sound better without over processing it with compression. So that's the idea, guys. Keep it subtle, keep it conservative, and use those parameters to fit the source that you've captured. There's no magic number in a compressor plugin. It's your ears, it's your source. Adjust it to taste and make better drum mixes. If you have any questions regarding kick drum compression, be sure to leave them in the comments below, guys. I'm happy to answer them. Appreciate you hanging in there with us. Again, I am Greg with JHDrums.com. Feel free to stop by the site anytime and leave us some feedback. Give us a like if you are enjoying the videos. And be sure to stay tuned for the next kick drum processing video where we'll get into noise gating. Thanks for your time, guys. I hope you found this useful, and we will see you in the next video. Have a good one.